In this video, we are going to see what is a database architecture. Before going into the video, subscribe to my channel In and Around Computer. Database architecture in businesses and organizations involves the application of programming languages to design the software for accessing the database. And it mainly involves the design, implementation, development and maintenance of computer programs that store and manage data for businesses. This architecture determines the design of a DBMS. DBMS is the software we already know that is used to access the database. So this architecture determines the design of a DBMS. There are three types of architectures for a database. A database can have three types of architecture. First is the one-tier architecture, two-tier architecture, and the last one is the three-tier architecture. We can see all the architectures one by one. First, we can see what is an one-tier architecture. In this architecture, the database is directly available to the user. Any changes or updates that are done will reflect directly to the database. This one tier is used for the development of a local application where programmers can directly communicate with the database for quick response. And here is the diagram for the one tier architecture where the user directly accesses the database and he can store the data in the database. This is about the one tier architecture. And next we can move to the two-tier architecture. This is same as the basic client server model. In this architecture, applications on the client end can directly communicate with the database at the server side. For this interaction, APIs like ODBC, JDBC are used. And the user interfaces and application programs are run on the client side. The server side is responsible to provide the functionalities like query processing and transaction management. To communicate with the DBMS, the client-side application establishes a connection with the server side. Seeing this diagram, we can understand the two-tier architecture where it has a client tier and a database tier, where the client tier computers accesses the database server by using the client server communication that we already saw. And next we can move to the three-tier architecture. This three-tier architecture contains another layer between the client and server. So this is the difference between the two-tier and three-tier. In this architecture, client cannot directly communicate with the server. The application on the client end interacts with the application server, which further communicates with the database system. So the end user has no idea about the existence of the database beyond the application server. The database also has no idea about the user on the other end beyond the application. So this three-tier architecture is used in a large web application. And this is the diagram for the three-tier architecture where it has three tiers. One is the client tier, application tier, and the database tier. And this application tier is the layer that is between the client and server side. So this application server communicates with the user and the database. So this is all about the three-tier architecture. Subscribe to my channel if you feel contented.